Let's get to it.
YouTube, what is going on, you tasty guardians? Tis Mesa Sean back at it with some Destiny, and this is going to be episode 3 of my How to Have Fun solo in the Crucible. And apologies for the lateness, tardiness of the video. This one we're going to be going over the Titan Defender, and you know, guys, what I really like about doing these series is that it takes me out of my comfort zone, you know, because you guys know me. I mean, I typically, when it comes to PvP, I just love using my OP Hunter Blade Dancer or the Hunter Gunslinger. And guys, you know, I always can't say this enough. You're doing yourself a disservice if you don't have 3 different character classes, because I mean, I don't know about you guys, I get bored if I play on one particular subclass for too long. When I look at it with the 2 subclasses per character, it's kind of like having 6 different characters, because I feel like each subclass really has its definitive differences and advantages and also disadvantages. But enough of my babble, so let's jump into it. Now, I was only playing Control with my Defender. I don't think it'd be as useful in playing, say, like Clash or Rumble. But even then, guys, let me know what your thoughts. I mean, sometimes it could get you out of a really bad situation. If you stumble across 2 enemies and you're about to go down, you could pop your Ward of Dawn and you'll be okay. But I would think also Salvage. It would be very, very useful to have a Titan Defender. You know, and obviously Titan Defenders on a non-PvP note, I think are just amazing in Crota's End. They're just so well needed. Now, let's okay, so you have Blessing of Light, Weapons of Light, and then Armor of Light when it comes to the Ward of Dawn. And obviously I'm not using the word bubble anymore, but I probably will call it that a few times. Now, I want to hear from you guys which one you tend to prefer. I was mixing it up, but for the most part I kept using Blessing because, I don't know, for me, I wanted to stay alive more. I wanted my teammates to stay alive more. And but I did hear from you guys in the comment section, because at first I didn't really know, does Weapons of Light apply to PvP? I had no idea. And you guys were saying that like Weapons of Light can make a sniper that would normally be like a 2-shot kill turn into a 1-shot kill and so forth. But for the most part, where I was using the Ward of Dawns was on capture points. You know, I wasn't just randomly putting, once or twice if I got into a really hairy situation and I had to protect myself to not, you know, from not dying, but I mainly was using it to take control points. So now we know in past episodes I comment how I always play defensively. I don't like to get close to people. Well, I really don't like to get close to people when it comes to the Defender. It's not like I have shoulder charge, and even then, mentioned in the last episode with shoulder charges, I stink on ice. And here is what I would call a panic bubble, where I just thought I was in a really bad situation, so I said, let me just pop it. But the only thing is, you know, I don't really, well, we'll get into the armor that I have here, but when you use this class, you want to build out your intellect as much as possible, and as well as your discipline, okay? If you feel you can get close enough to people to melee them, because the punch from a Titan is extremely powerful, but you got to be really close. I mean, in blowing their nose distance from you, that's a stupid joke, I always say that, but you really got to be close. So I always try to maximize my intellect and discipline. So the other classes, say like for Hunter Blade Dancer, I'll try to max out my strength a little bit on top of the intellect, because I want that blink strike, because I know you can blink people from cross map. Same thing with the with Warlocks, you know, with their with the Voidwalker melee and also the Scorch melee. You know, those have some pretty good distance on them. But for defenders and strikers, forget it. You got to be really close. However, I do have to comment on Skirmish, because I was playing it last night, a couple of matches for the Skirmish bounty, and I saw firsthand how effective it is in Skirmish, because I got wrecked in this one game. It was myself solo as usual, playing with a couple of randoms, and these 2 Titans on the other team just were popping bubble after bubble over each other's bubbles. And I think one of them was using Weapons of Light, and one of them was using Blessing of Light, and I think one of them had the Helm of Saint 14. So even if we tried to rush in there, we were totally blind. So I guess you could use this in Skirmish quite well if you got 1 Titan, or even 2 Titans for that matter. So very, very useful. And yeah, guys, again, let me know, you know, what other game modes do you guys like using this for? Do you guys use it in Rumble? I mean, I would think it wouldn't be as effective, but perhaps if you're working one particular area, because, you know, like when you're playing a free-for-all Rumble type game, I usually like to just stay in one area and just kind of work it. So maybe, I don't know, it's useful. Again, let me know in the comment section. All right, Babble mode's engaged. So you know what we're gonna do? Let's go look at my armor and specific perks and build and everything that I choose. So here we go. We're going to look at my armor, and then we'll go into the perks and skill trees and stuff. Now, on this particular build, you can see I got 100% intellect, 0 strength, and 82% discipline. Not the smartest idea to have 0 strength, but again, I stink on ice when it comes to meleeing people. Now, I love the armamentarium, and its key point is that you got 2 grenades. So very, very useful, especially if you're using suppressor grenades, you're trying to take a control point, you pop your Ward of Dawn and lob a couple of grenades. Just got the Crest of Alpalupe. I have not leveled it up yet, but it's got intellect, which I like. Now I've got a host of other legendary, just regular light level 33 gear, but I always keep them around just to mix and match to see where, if I can, well, especially on other characters where I'm a little more concerned with strength, I can mix up and kind of get an even roll on everything between intellect, strength, and discipline. Now for gauntlets, I got a couple of just regular legendaries. You know, you don't have to be 32 when you go into the Crucible. One gives me speed reload with hand cannon, so that's very useful when I use my Hawk Moon, because I hate the reload on the Hawk Moon. I like using the Send It perk, or whatever it's called, increase range. And another one is for the auto rifle reloads. Now Glass House, I like using this one a lot. It's got, my roll has intellect of 122, so it brings that up, and also I can get, when I put back on the raid chest piece and that gauntlet, I spread things out a little bit across discipline and also strength. Just got the Helm of Saint 14, so I will be leveling that up, and I'm sure that's going to be very, very useful, especially when people try to rush you in your Ward of Dawn when you're at a control point, because it will blind them all. Now guys, I can't reiterate enough, if you get a legendary drop of gear, make sure you go in and take a look at the stats and key perks, because it might help you out in PvP. Now I love the suppressor grenades. Now I know the other two have more of a chance of getting you kills, but you'd be surprised. If someone's one shot, I sometimes get kills with those suppressor grenades, but that's what I stick with. I like lobbing them, especially if you have armamentarium and you got two of those babies. I just start lobbing them all over the place near a control point. I go and increase control, and again guys, for this section here, let me know in the comments section which you prefer in PvP. Do you like armor, blessing, or weapons of light? Now with regards to your melee, again, I don't care which one, because I almost never go for melee kills. It's just if they're really close, I might go for it, because again, I feel like you have to be within 2 feet of the person to actually get a melee, or at least for me at least. Okay, so for the next skill tree, again, I'm focusing on recovery and also speed, okay? I always point out to Dado's video where he kind of did a breakdown where armor really doesn't do that much for you in PvP. I go with Titan Cut X5 because it focuses on my recovery. So, again, I always want to focus on recovery, and speed if I could throw it in there. I go with Bastion because it's going to increase the Ward of Dawn. I'm not really worried about the other two. I mean, they're useful, but again, for Defender, I want that bubble to last as long as possible. And then Untouchable is going to reduce the cooldown time of the Ward of Dawn. So that, coupled with some good intellect, you can get lots of Ward of Dawns. But in the skill tree where I chose Bastion, let me know if you guys like the other two. Let me know in the comments section. I just find that works for me. For weapons, it's, you know, the usual. I usually go with an auto rifle or a hand cannon. Always go with a shotgun, especially Fell Winterslide. I cannot stop using that thing, and I didn't even reforge that thing. I just have the stock one you bought from Lord Garden Saladin. But here's a quick build. If you're just using Bastion, your Glass House, as well as Untouchable, it just works so well for your Ward of Dawn. So anyway, the heavy machine gun I love the most right now is Against All Odds. Actually, check out More Console. He did a full review of it. I got 2 of them. I got a solar one and a void one. Absolutely just a monster in PvP. I've got to consider it the swarm of the post-arc below. So anyway, that's it. I think the next video might be Gunslinger or Sunsinger. You know, I think I got enough clips for a Gunslinger. Well, I've used the Gunslinger the most in my Destiny career. So that's it. So drop a like in this video only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter, Mesa Sean. Check out my stream. Links will be in the description. Streaming tons and tons more. Usual schedule is going to be Wednesday nights, Saturdays, probably even Sundays now, and maybe even Thursday nights. I'm trying to get a partnership, plug, I know, but I'm really having a good time with you guys streaming, and we've been putting up a lot of good numbers lately, so I'm really excited. You guys seem to like and enjoy it. So, all right, Babel mode's been engaged again, so that's it. You stay beautiful, Guardians. Babel mode, I don't know how to end videos. I'm so terrible at that. I wish I had some sort of catchy outro. All right, I really got to turn this thing off. Bye, guys.